Your ears pop on a plane. That click is a one-way valve opening. "300 millibars of pressure difference across your eardrum. That's the gap that builds up between the air outside your head and the air trapped inside every time a plane climbs to cruise altitude. The pop you hear is not your ear breaking. It's a tiny valve in the back of your throat finally letting the trapped air escape. Airline cabins are not pressurized to sea level. They're pressurized to roughly the equivalent of 8,000 feet of altitude, about 750 millibars, compared to the 1,013 millibars at the ground. That difference exists for engineering reasons. Pressurizing a cabin all the way to sea level would put enormous structural load on the fuselage every time the plane climbed. So manufacturers settled on a compromise that keeps passengers conscious without cracking the airframe. The result is that, during climb, the air pressure outside your head drops by about 300 millibars in roughly 15 minutes. The air pressure inside your middle ear, behind your eardrum, doesn't drop at the same speed. It's sealed in a small bony chamber, and it can only escape through one narrow channel. So while the cabin pressure plummets, the trapped air in your middle ear stays close to the original ground level value. The pressure imbalance pushes your eardrum outward, stretches it, and starts to hurt. The narrow channel that fixes this is called the Eustachian tube. It's a thin passage, about 35 to 40 millimeters long in adults, that runs from the middle ear down into the back of the nose, just behind the soft palate. For most of the time, that tube is closed. It only opens when specific muscles around the soft palate contract, and those are the same muscles you use when you yawn, swallow, or chew. So when you yawn during descent, you're not relieving tension by accident. You are mechanically prying the Eustachian tube open. The instant it opens, the higher pressure air on the cabin side rushes into the lower pressure middle ear, the eardrum snaps back to its neutral position, and you hear the pop. On ascent, the same thing happens in reverse. The higher pressure inside your ear escapes outward into the cabin. Either way, the pop is just air moving across a one-way valve to equalize a pressure gradient. The eardrum doesn't pop. The trapped column of air does. Children cry on planes for a reason adults usually forget. A child's Eustachian tube is shorter, narrower, and runs almost horizontally compared to an adult's. In an adult, the tube angles downward at about 45 degrees, which lets gravity help drain mucus and equalize pressure. In an infant, that angle is closer to 10 degrees, so the tube barely drains at all. When cabin pressure changes, the child's tube struggles to open against fluid and swelling, the eardrum gets stretched, and the result is sharp pain. The same anatomy explains why kids get more ear infections than adults. Fluid from a cold pools in the middle ear instead of draining. Bacteria grow in the trapped fluid, and an infection takes hold. The tube only finishes rotating into its adult position around age 7. So the next time you hear a baby crying on descent, it isn't being dramatic. 300 millibars of pressure difference is sitting on a 6 millimeter eardrum, and the valve that should release it is still under construction. That's why your ears pop. Subscribe to Curious Science for more body mechanism explainers. Tomorrow, why the moon has phases and why Earth's shadow has nothing to do with it.